achieved.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Studio Day Heffrey, where we're talking Dallas Cowboys per the usual. Remember, you can leave in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow, and I will try my best to take care of you. Make sure you're subscribed to youtube.com/Jeff Cavanaugh, and you want to join the 22% Club, where you have the notifications turned on. What I want to talk about today is the Cowboys' biggest problems, and the one that I just don't know how it's fixable. There are a lot of problems with the Cowboys right now, but a lot of them, in theory, you can overcome, or you can fix them, or you can level them out. But there's one that I just don't know how you do that. So let's start with the Cowboys' biggest problem. It has not changed this week from last week, other than they've moved up or down in the rankings, depending on if you want to call it up or down. The Cowboys now lead the NFL in turnover differential. The wrong direction. They're -7 in turnover differential. They've turned the ball over 9 times this year, and they've only taken it away 2 times. That doesn't work. Doesn't work. If you're going to be -2 or -3 in a game, you're going to lose that game 90-something% of the time. So that one, can you fix that? Yeah. Your running back can hold on to the ball, and as a coaching staff, you can elect to protect your quarterback. You know, you look at the play where Dak fumbled against Cleveland, and what you're going to see is a play design that is play action to Zeke going right, and then Zeke goes out to the flat. So his job is not to help the right tackle. They got Tony Pollard sitting out here in the flats to the left, where Dak is going to turn and give him a little pump so that he can then go down the field. So it's just bang, bang, bang. He does bang 1, he does bang 2, he goes to do bang 3, and then Myles Garrett knocks the ball out of your hands. Now, I guess if you want to, because I know a lot of you want to, you can blame Dak for that because ultimately he put the ball on the ground. But I don't know what you want him to do differently on that play when his job is play action, look at Pollard, throw here, to know that a guy beat his right tackle cleanly right here. So can you help Dak not put the ball on the ground? Because he has not been a fumbler in his career. Guys like Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz, there's a lot of guys that when you hit them in the pocket, the ball comes loose. Dak's never been that guy. His fumbles, one, he was trying to do too much in an earlier game. That one is just a matter of your right tackle getting beat so fast that there's nothing you can do other than maybe have somebody scream at him, "Oh my God, I got beat, please God." And then hopefully he just falls down. But your running back can hold on to the ball. Your coaching staff can give your right tackle help, especially on longer developing plays, where Zeke on that play action fake, either 1, abandon the play action fake, or 2, let him know that his blocking assignment is going to be to help Terrence Steele either inside or out. In that case, he would have had to help him outside, so he would have had to take a fake and then immediately turn around and run backwards to where Terrence Steele got beat to the outside. Terrence Steele shouldn't have been playing anyway. Coaches shouldn't have started him. They should have started Brandon Knight. But turnover differential, is that one that you can fix? Yes, in theory. Because year to year, the same teams aren't at the top and the bottom. There is a level of randomness to turnovers. Not only when you put the ball on the ground, the Cowboys have also been on the very far negative side of how often you recover your own fumbles. So they've been a little bit unlucky, but this will be the second year in a row that we'll say the numbers say they've been unlucky. At some point, you got to do something about it. So coaches, offer a little help in terms of protection. Zeke, hold on to the football, and voila, you fix your turnover problem. Well, turnovers do happen, though, so you're going to have to force some. Through 4 games to have forced 2 turnovers, that's bad on the defense. Turnovers. Got it. Done. Other biggest problem for the Cowboys is they have now taken over first place. They were in second place behind the Vikings. They're now in first place in terms of the worst starting field position in the league. Obviously, turnovers play into that because if you turn the ball over, the other team starts here, and if you don't force turnovers, you don't often get to start up there. So that could be changed by forcing turnovers, but their average starting field position is a 23-yard line. On average, you're at an 11-yard disadvantage from the team that you play against on every drive. So if there's 10 drives in a game, you're at a 110-yard disadvantage. If there's 14, which they've had a 14-drive game, you're at a 154-yard disadvantage before you've even snapped a football, just on field position. So those are things that desperately have to change and can change the results, win or loss, for this football team. Now, I want to go to the one thing that I don't know how it's fixable, because we can talk about a lot of positions on this team, right? Let's go through the defensive positions. On the edge, defensive end, Tank Lawrence is still a good player. He's not getting pressure on the quarterback enough. He's not getting sacks. Okay, let's ignore salary for a second, though. And he's a good player. Aldon Smith is helping you. He's playing pretty well. So you got a couple of guys on the edge playing pretty well. In the secondary, nobody's playing well. Pro Football Focus, I think, has Xavier Woods as the 8th-ranked safety in the league, so they like him. And don't get me wrong, he's a competent starter for pretty much any team in the league, or for a lot of teams. I'm not going to pretend he's better than teams that have a great free safety, but you have a guy there that's a competent starter. Chido, when he gets back, is at least a competent starter. I won't say good, but competent starter. Right now you have no good players, unless you're counting Xavier Woods, in your secondary. Trayvon Diggs is a ball of potential. He hasn't played well. People like to pretend he has because we like rookies. He hadn't played well. He plays hard, and I like him, and he can grow into a good player. He hadn't played well. Darryl Worley, not an NFL corner. Jordan Lewis hadn't played well. So getting Chido back can help. Getting Anthony Brown back can help. So in the secondary, can it get better? Yeah. Linebackers. Jalen Smith has been bad. Joe Thomas has been better than bad. I won't say he's been a good starting linebacker, but he's been functional. Can you get better there? In theory, you get Leighton Vander Esch back. You put the sticker back on his helmet. He's calling your defense now. And maybe you can alleviate some of your problems. If your linebackers don't play well enough and Sean Lee comes back, can you get better at linebacker? In theory, you can. Okay. Take a walk down defensive tackle lane with me, if you will. Dontari Poe's been bad. Antoine Woods has been bad. Tyrone Crawford has been bad. Tristan Hill has been bad. So, Tristan Hill, I want to say this about Tristan Hill. Where he has not been good is just on your run-of-the-mill run plays. If it is a run play, Tristan Hill gets moved easier than any defensive tackle you have, and that's saying a lot because all your defensive tackles get moved very easily. Way too easily. But Tristan Hill, as a gap shooter and showing potential as a pass rusher, he's showing something there, and he deserves credit for that. But he's also Pro Football Focus's lowest-rated defensive tackle in the entire league. So, on a down-by-down basis, is Tristan Hill good? No. But he's the one guy, even though he's the lowest graded by them, he's the one guy that does flash you some potential as a pass rusher, and this team could definitely use help on the pass rush. I don't know the fix at defensive tackle. I don't know. It's not Neville Gallimore, otherwise he'd already be playing. Is Dontari Poe going to magically get better? No. Antoine Woods? No. Could Tristan Hill continue to become a better player? Yes, but remember, he's currently the lowest graded D tackle on the planet in the NFL. Tyrone Crawford, he can get better? No. So that's the one thing that, I don't know. Everything that's wrong with this team, there's a chance you can fix it. Defensive tackle play, I don't think you can fix it. You ready for the good news on that? It's just defensive tackle play. If a team wants to run the ball down your throat all the time and think that they're going to win a bunch of football games, Bill Belichick once upon a time said, I dare you. And you would rather, in theory, you'd rather a team run than pass. But hell, if you're going to give up 7 yards a carry, they can run on you all day and you'll lose that football game every time. So they got to find a way to be better. But I don't know the answer at defensive tackle. Snacks Harrison is on a tour right now, visiting a few different teams. Maybe you should be interested. Maybe you should want him. I don't know if he can just jump in the middle of a season and still be a quality NFL player. Maybe you need to start looking into trading. Think about looking around the league and saying, all right, who's got too many or who's got a guy that's coming near the end of a deal that a team's not going to extend. But at defensive tackle, I don't know the answer because it's not on the roster. You potentially have the answer on the roster for a lot of your problems. You don't have an answer for defensive tackle. That's a tough one. Mailbag. Mike, ex-percenter Pressler. We're currently at 21% who have the notifications turned on. We're gunning for 22. Going back to the Tank deal and then the Zeke deal, if we didn't overpay for a run stopper and an okay running back, we'd have had money to pay Byron and bring in Jamal Adams. Do you think that would have been enough to make this defense capable? Probably. Problem is every single free agent addition they made on defense is bad. That's the big problem. I thought Everson Griffin would be good because his tape last year was good. I thought Don Terry Poe would be serviceable because his tape last year was serviceable. They brought in corners who I was like, hey, at least they're bringing in a bunch, so if one can't play, you just put in the next one. But now you're banged up enough that it doesn't even matter. I thought their free agent additions were going to help. Gerald McCoy, you just got unlucky. I thought they'd help. None of them have helped. And your big money defensive players aren't playing well. So that's tough. Yeah, and I don't even think you have to go undo the Tank deal because I think at the time he was playing at such a level that you were like, man, heck yeah. And at least he's still a good player that helps your defense. Where they screwed up was when Zeke was holding out, they were like, we'll show him. We'll give a deal to Jalen Smith to sell sunglasses and jerseys. That'll teach Zeke. Ha-ha! Look at there, hold out, man. And then they fold to him anyway. What you could have done is let Zeke play out his contract. He's not going to hold out. He wants to get paid, so he'd show up. You could have just left his contract alone. You could have just left Jalen's contract alone, and they're still on the team. You paid them both early, and you could have paid Byron Jones. The problem is that they didn't want to pay Byron Jones. They still could have, because you just move money around. I don't know if you guys can hear CD, but he is excited about something. You can always move money around to sign one guy. They could have signed Byron Jones if they wanted to. They decided that the amount of money he was going to get, they did not want to pay. That was their mistake. Somehow they didn't value a great corner. That's silly. Now, he couldn't help you right now because I do believe he's hurt in Miami right now. But that's a top 10 corner in football. And they were just like, nah. We need Jalen. We need to make sure we get our running back extended. That's where they screwed that up. Isaac Hampton, I hate these players on defense. Play like trash and don't want to take any criticism. That's fair. Cowboy Troy, bring in Earl. Tell him he can punch anyone he wants to make his defense better. Earl's got stuff he's got to take care of. Darth, we don't have much talent on defense. The majority of players on our defense are overrated. It's true, you don't have much talent on defense. Tank Lawrence is talented. Alden Smith is talented. At one time, I thought Vander Esch was talented. Xavier Woods, kind of talented. Yeah, you're right. This defense will never be a good defense. What you need him to do is be a survive defense. Just be able to survive, be fairly competitive, and then offense stop turning the ball over. Gabriel, Nolan's never been a good D coordinator. He has a relationship with McCarthy. Sound familiar? Yeah, kind of. That's true. You go back to Atlanta the last time he was a D coordinator. There was no talent on that team, but they also were terrible at playing defense. So, yeah, there's a chance Mike Nolan's not a good D coordinator. There certainly is. Dre the Great, y'all hyped this D-line so much, they stink. My bad. Thought Griffin would be a good player. Thought Poe would be a better player. M. Ware, please make sense of this, Jeff. I'm losing it. Is the sky falling? Are we the Jaguars? No! Stop fumbling. Cause a turnover. Keep throwing. Help your right tackle. Team's got potential. You're all right. You might be okay. Ganja Man. Time for David Irving. Okay. Justin, how can one team be so deficient in forcing turnovers so many years consecutively? It hurts my brain. I don't know. They're supposed to be random. Dallas, something baseball. Jeff, I'm typing this while driving. Don't do that. because it needs to be said, I watched the end of every video. Can't go another 2 days in a row without hearing you talk about the Cowboys. I'm tired of hearing Stephen A. and Max and Shannon and Skip constantly contradict themselves about the Cowboys. I'm going to need you to either call me and talk to me about the Cowboys or post more, because I don't get 105.3 The Fan in Pennsylvania on the radio. Sincerely, all Pennsylvania Cowboy fans. Radio.com app, you can find 105.3 The Fan there. You can listen to us. You can go to 1053thefan.com, and you can listen to us there. There's ways to hear. Hey, Jeff, could you grade out how players like Tristan Hill, Xavier Woods, and Tank played? In that particular game, not well, okay. Greatness Mitchell. Why aren't we giving Tristan any credit? For my casual eye, looks like he's doing some great things. I hope our corners and Randy hurry. We need lots of defensive help. Tristan gets credit for his ability that he flashes on pass rushing plays and when he can occasionally shoot a gap against a zone blocking scheme. But play in and play out, he's getting pushed around, just like every other D tackle. Jamel, so we paid 4 guys on defense and some high draft picks, but we have to score 45 to win. Great. Start the 2021 draft coverage. Micah Parsons, Penn State linebacker. Rousseau, Miami pass rusher. That's if you lose a lot. Jack, I'm curious why towards the end of the game, and you're close, do you just barely kick the ball and you let them start about their own 45? They didn't mean to. They meant to do the same kick they did the time before, where they almost had an onside stop at the 1 yard line. They didn't mean to. It was just a bad kick. Mel, crazy how dishonest coaches are with themselves. When LVE comes back, they're going to sit Joe Thomas down and start LVE and Jalen Smith. There's no way that is correct. I think you're right, and I think you're right. There's no way that's correct. Leave in the comments what you want tomorrow. Tell a friend to subscribe and leave in the comments that you sent them. I'll drink beer with you one day. All right, guys, I'll see you on the radio. I'm going to go practice with my driver in the backyard. I can't hit a driver to save my life. I love you.